بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألف لام ميم تنزيل الكتاب لا ريب فيه من رب العالمين.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. اللهم إنا نسألك الإخلاص في القول والعمل. اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا Muhammad. آمين يا رب العالمين. Welcome everybody, and I'm very happy inshallah to continue with today's session inshallah. Today we start with the next ayah. We continue our journey with Surah As-Sajdah, and we are on now verse number 4. Alhamdulillah. So we are going to go through this a slightly longer ayah than we've done previously, but inshallah we'll do what we can inshallah. We of course start with the isti'adha and the basmallah. So Sister Shazia, if you would like to repeat after me please, and of course everybody at home, I expect you to also recite after me as well. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay, so Sister Shazia, when you say A'udhu Billahi, this ha is from the bottom of the throat. I want you to relax for it. I don't want you to push any breath. It's just, for example, Bismillahi, he. See, there's no squeezing, no tension. Try it again.
Bismillahi.
That's the same one I want in the isti'adha. Good. We'll say it again. A'udhu Billahi.
A'udhu billahi.
And then one other thing I want you to correct for today. So I just going to give you two things with the isti'adha today. So the one is the ha. I want you to remember the ha. The second one is when you say a'udhu, I want you to circle the lips for the dhu, so that you're not saying dhu, you're saying dhu. You hear having a clear dhamma sound. A'udhu.
A'udhu.
All right, now we'll do both together. A'udhu billahi.
A'udhu billahi.
I want you to also say the dhu, we don't want to prolong it. We don't want to be saying a'udhu, just one count. Hear the u, move on to the ba. A'udhu billahi.
A'udhu billahi.
You're going to have to focus on this, inshallah. The he is now very good, mashallah. The dal with the dhamma, you need to still practice, inshallah. I will give you another opportunity on another day, inshallah, to recite this to me. Jazakallah khairan. We'll move on to the basmallah. Sister Isha, if you could join me for the basmallah, please. Well done, Sister Shazia. Keep practicing, inshallah. May Allah open the way for you and give you istiqamah in it. Sister Isha, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay, so we start with the beginning of this ayah. It's a beautiful ayah because it's talking about Allah and the creation of the heavens and the earth. Inshallah, please stay tuned for the tafsir, because Sister Zuleika will explain this ayah, inshallah. So we start off with lafzul jalala, the name of Allah here. The lam is heavy. So be careful if you find yourself saying Allah, la is light. We don't want it like that. We want Allah, Allahu. Allahu. The back of the tongue is slightly raised. There is an elevation in the sound. The sound is directed behind the upper two incisors. So the sound is you're kind of pointing your sound upwards behind the upper two incisors when you pronounce this. Okay. So Pupaji Ruxana, if you could join me for this part. Allahu alladhi. You're on mute, Pupaji. Please just unmute yourself.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Allahulladhi.
Good. And if you notice the way Pupaji Ruxana said it, because she said it very beautifully, Allahumma barik, is that she made the lam in lafzul jalala was heavy, but the lam that she said in alladhi was light. And this is exactly how it should be. The lam in alladhi should be alladhi, not Allah. Okay, we don't want to make that lam heavy. It's just the first one. Or the first two in lafzul jalala. For those of you that are familiar with Tajweed, we know that the lams in lafzul jalala, there is actually two in the shadda. So we move on to the next part, Pupaji Ruxana. If we can say the next part. Now, the thing I want everyone to be careful of here is the word khalaqa. Khalaqa, the kha is a heavy letter. Because it's heavy, we don't say kha, we say kha. Again, it's a heavy letter. the back of the tongue is slightly lifted, and we're thinking about the direction of the sound again behind the upper two incisors. We don't say kha, we say kha. But then this is swiftly followed by a lam, and the lam here is light. So we can't say kha la. La is heavy. We have to make it light. We have to say kha la, kha la, kha la. We can't say khala and we can't say khala. It has to be kha la. So you have to make that switch. Then we go back to a heavy again. So you do need to focus on this a little bit. We're going back to a heavy qaf. So we have to pronounce a heavy letter, followed by a light letter, followed by a heavy letter. Kha, la, qa. If you repeat after me, Rukhsana, just to give everybody at home the opportunity to say this, I want just this word. We're going to say it slowly. Say the heavy, followed by the light, followed by the heavy. Khalaqa.
خلق.
Good. Keep the heart, probably complete the heaviness in the heart. Towards the end, you're starting to make it light.
Okay.
Khalaqa.
خلق.
The lam can be a little bit lighter. Khalaqa.
خلق.
Very nice. This one is good, mashallah. If you notice, for those of you that are also listening, you'll notice that the lam sounded light in the middle. Kha, la, kha. You have to make sure that after you say the kha, to make the lam light, you have to relax the back of the tongue. The back of the tongue should now be down for the lam so that you can make it sound lighter. The back of the mouth is very clear. Okay, so the sound can flow. The sound can flow freely. Then the qaf is joined with the sin. Now, sin is what we call a rahawa letter. It means that when we join with the sin is prolonged. We've let it run, just like we saw in previous ayat. So here we hold the sin, and then we say the fatha. So we don't prolong the sa. We prolong the, when we say khalaqas, this part is the bit that we prolong. So we're going to say this together, Papa Shuksana. Khalaqas samawati.
خلق السماوات.
Just be careful that for those of you also at home, the letter wow, be careful of the makhraj. The makhraj of the wow is actually the circling of the lips. We say wa, wa. The lips make a circle shape. If you find that your bottom lip is going inside and touching the teeth, then this is incorrect because it'll make a v type of sound. You don't want to be doing that. There is no V sound in the Arabic language, so be careful and just make sure that you are circling the lips for this one. Let's try it one more time, Papaji. خلق السماوات.
خلق السماوات.
Not bad, Barakallah Fiki. The kha was a little bit lighter than it was before. So inshallah, when you recite it again, we'll move on. But when we come back to it, inshallah, just pay attention to that, inshallah. Mawati, of course, is two counts each. We prolong these. Ma wa as-samawati. MashaAllah, Pupi Shuksana, Allahumma barik, you did that very well, alhamdulillah. Then we come to the next part. We have wal ardi. Now the lam we saw, does anybody remember the Arabic term that I gave to the lam when it is what sifa it has in terms of the timing that we spend on the lam? Anybody? Those of you?
بينية بينية.
Good. This is bayniya, or the other word. Anybody remember the other word for that?
توسط.
Tawassut, yes. You can call it bayniya or you can call it tawassut. For those of you that are listening in, when I do ask a question, feel free to write your answer in the chat box in YouTube because I can see your answers, inshallah. So it is bayniya. The ra is also bayniya. They are both the same timing. I'm going to put a T for tawassut, but of course, for those of you that are familiar with the term bayniya, it is the same. So we say wal ard, wal arda, wal ar, wal ar. The lam and the ra have the same time. We don't spend too long on them. We don't spend too short on them either. So it was similar. We saw the word in the previous session. I think we saw the word yes, at the beginning of the ayah, and we said the meme was also the same. So here there's got to be the same timing, but there shouldn't be too short or too long. Papa Ruksana and those of you at home, please join in as I say this. Wal arda.
والأرض.
Good, Papaji. Well, the timing was good. Just the hamza, be careful. And those of you at home, listen to yourself as you say this. You don't want to be saying ah. You want to say ah. So if you're saying wal or the hamzas become heavy. You want to keep the hamza light and say wal a, and then the ra is heavy. Wal arda. Again, Papaji.
والأرض.
Say wal a.
والأ.
Again, wal a.
والأ.
Yes, I want this wal arda.
والأرض.
Better, barakallah fiki. Very nice, alhamdulillah. So probably we'll continue inshallah. We have wama.
وما
Good. Your makhraj of your wa was better this time. Barakallahu fiki. وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا.
وما بينهما
We'll do it again. وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا.
وما بينهما
Yes, Babaji, be careful. And everybody at home as well, be careful of the noon here. It is quite common to make the noon heavy and say bayna. You don't want to say bayna, you want to say bayna. And rhyme it with your ma. When you say wa ma, rhyme it the same ending a. Wa ma baynahuma.
وما بينهما
Bayna.
بين
This wa baynahuma.
بينهما
And then we have the word fi sittati ayyam.
في ستة أيام
So Pupaji made a mistake. This is something that we haven't seen before, but Pupaji it's going to be very easy for you to correct because I think it was just a slip of the tongue. Inshallah, you can fix this very easily. See and check yourself at home too. Are you saying sitta te or are you saying sittati? Because it should be a clear E sound. Fi sittati ayyam.
في ستة أيام
Good, Barakallahu Fiki, Alhamdulillah. When we say ayyam, for those of you at home, as you join the hamza with the ya, we have something called nabar here. So this is for those of you that are familiar with this term. Nabar is an emphasizing type of method that we use sometimes to make our recitation clear in certain places. There are certain conditions where we apply this. And ayyam, when we have a ya mushaddad, a ya with this what looks like a W sign on top, this is where we would apply it. So we have to make a point of making it clear that the ya is joint with the hamza and say ay. It's very easy to say ayam. Ayam sounds like a is separate and yam is separate, but it's not. It's joint. So we say ay. What should I say again?
أي
Ayam.
أيام
Good. Now, Pupaji, we're going to try the whole ayah. I hope everybody's ready. We're going to try and say the whole ayah this time. Not the whole ayah, sorry, the first line, inshallah. So if you find that you have shortness of breath, sometimes my breath gets short too. So don't worry. Inshallah, what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath and then we're going to take it steady and think about each of these things as we say them. Okay. So after me, Pupaji, I'll say it first. الله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض وما بينهما في ستة أيام. Pupaji, if you do run out of breath, don't worry. If you stop at, for example, والأرض first, you can stop here and then start from خلق if you want, and then try to see if you can do it till the end, inshallah.
Okay. الله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض خلق السماوات والأرض وما بينهما في ستة أيام
Very good effort, Barakallahu Fiki. So just remember, Pupaji, khalaqa, because you're reciting together now and you're putting everything together, it's very easy, and this is for everyone. It's very easy to sometimes you focus on something in isolation, and when you put it back into the ayah, you kind of go back to your old way again. So khalaqa, Pupaji, just be careful of khalaqa. Well, I'm going to say it alone with you again, but I'd like you to practice this on your own, putting it in the ayah and making sure it's correct. So what is it? It's خلق السماوات.
خلق السماوات
Not bad, Barakallahu Fiki. Also, Papaji, when you say wama, and this is very common again to say wa, to make a sound of wa and ma. Be careful, everybody at home as well. Listen out for yourself. Are you saying wama, wa, or are you saying wa? For wa, you have to complete the movement of the lips and bring the lips back to a resting position. Wa, wama.
وما
Yes, Barakallahu Fiki. Very nice. Jazakallah khairan, Pupaji Ruksana. Alhamdulillah, very, very good effort. Allah bless you. Alhamdulillah. Sister Isha, we'll do the next part, inshallah. We'll start with the word thumma. When we say thumma, we have to make sure that the dhamma is clear. We say thu. We hold the joining with the meme. We say thumma. So we say thum, hold it, and then the ma, Only one count. Sister Isha, thumma.
ثم
Barakallahu fiki. And then we join this with the seen. So we have the ma in thumma is being joined with the seen. Seen is one of those letters that also runs. We stay on it or we prolong it. Okay, just how we saw before in khalaqa samawat. Again, same thing here. And then we have the word istawa has an alif at the end. So we have to make sure that this wa, we read it for two counts. It's not just wa, it's wa, istawa, istawa. Sister Isha, thumma istawa.
ثم استوى
Let your scene run a little bit longer. Thumma istawa.
ثم استوى
Good, alhamdulillah. Then we have the word ala al-arush. Now here, you'll have to concentrate. For those of you that are especially beginners, I'd like you to focus here because you have two ains. You have the ain in ala, and then you have al-arush. You have another ain. So remember, we're going to squeeze in the middle of the throat. We mentioned where the middle of the throat was in a past session where we said it was the region of the epiglottis, which is the part that moves when we swallow. So we feel a slight tightness there, a slight tension in that part of the throat. We say ala al-arush. Sister Isha.
على العرش
Good. The other thing I want to draw your attention to here is the ain is light, okay? But the ra is heavy. So we say al-a, the a is light, al-a. So we don't say a, we don't say a, al-a. And then the ra is heavy, al-ar, al-ar, al-arush. And then the sheen is a letter like the seen. The sheen runs. So we want to stay on the sheen and let it run at the end. Sister Isha, let's try this again. على العرش.
على العرش
Beautiful, barakallahu fiki. Alhamdulillah, good. For those of you, of course, just a quick mention, of course, that the lam here and the ra, they are both the wasut or bayniya letters. So again, they are held for the same amount or equal amount of time, but they are not too long and they are not too short. Okay, it's the middle ground. Let's say that again together, Sister Isha. ثم استوى على العرش.
ثم استوى على العرش
Barakallahu fiki, alhamdulillah. Then we come to the next part, and Sister Shireen, if you could join me for this part, please. We have here ma
Yes.
lakum. We have ma lakum, but you will notice that the kum here, the last mim, it's merged, or what we say, there is a idgham here with the next mim in the word min. So here we do not say lakum and then stop and then say min, but there is a merging and we hold the joining of the kaf with the mim. So we say it like this, and Sister Shireen, if you could say after me, ma lakum min.
ما لكم من
Alhamdulillah. You'll also notice that the mim, because of the fatha with it, and Sister Shireen, mashallah, said this very well, Allahumma barik, the ma has an alif with it, so we stretch it for two counts. Okay, so we don't say malakum, we say malakum, which alhamdulillah, Sister Shireen, you did very good, alhamdulillah. Then we go on to the next part, we have min duni. Now here again, we have a ikhfa. Again, I'm not going to go into the ikhfa, it will come on a later day, inshallah. I'm going to leave this for now. I'm going to mention a few other things, inshallah. But inshallah, try to follow how I read this, inshallah. And then we have the duni. I'll stop at duni first. We'll recite this first, Sister Shireen. Ma lakum min duni.
ما لكم من دونه
Yes, alhamdulillah, jazakallah khairan. You'll notice for those of you at home that when we say the ikhfa here, the ikhfa haqiqi, it has a light gunna. And you can hear the lightness when she says mia, mia. It should sound light. It should be mia. If you say mia, it means that you're lifting the back of the tongue. Okay, it should be mia, nice and light. You're just focusing at the front because the dal, the makhraj of the dal or the articulation point of the dal is from the tip of the tongue, or what we say is tarful lisan, with the gums behind the upper two incisors. So we just need to make sure that we're focusing on what's happening at the front. The back of the mouth is completely relaxed. The tongue is not lifted or pushed back in any kind of way. Okay, very beautiful. Ikhfa, Allahumma barik, jazakallah khairan. Then we have the next part, min waliyyin wala shafi'. Now here I want to draw your attention. We have seen idgham naqis before. Here what we do is we say the ghunna. In other words, we do the nasalization of the noon. Again, our tongue does not go to the makhraj or the articulation point of the noon. We don't say min. Our tip of the tongue or tarful lisan does not go to the gums behind the upper incisors. Instead, in terms of what our mouth is doing, we're going from the mim to the wow. It's like we're saying mew, mew. You're going straight to the wow, mew, but you are adding in a ghunna. So the sound of your voice goes through the khayshum, even though your mouth is not at noon. There's no physical engagement of the articulation point of the noon, rather than you go to the wow. Meow, meow. Try that, Sister Shireen.
Mew.
Alhamdulillah. So we have meow, and I also want to mention the liyin. Be careful here not to say liyin, liyin. Liyin sounds like liyin, but we can see again ya mushaddad, just like we saw um,
أيام.
in ayyam. Jazakallah khairan.
Yeah.
In the word ayyam, we had a ya mushaddad. Here we also have a ya mushaddad. So again, we apply the nabar here, or we emphasize that the lam is joined with the ya. Okay, it's a way of drawing a person's attention to make sure that they know that the lam is joint. So here we don't say waliyin, we say waliyin, waliyin. When we join with the ya at first and say wali, we engage with the makhraj, or with the articulation point of the ya, which is the middle of the tongue going or rising. You have the middle of the tongue being raised towards the roof of the upper palate. As your middle of your tongue goes up, you then let it run. Wali, wali. And then you go on to the yin part. Okay. But then the yin is also joint with the wow. We have idgham naqis, just how we had mew. We have again here wali yin. Okay. So again, we're going to be doing the same idgham that we saw in mew. We're going to see it again in yin. But we have to remember to do the nabar when we say liyin. Okay. It is actually waliyin. Waliyin is one word. So I'm kind of just to point on certain parts, I'm isolating and saying certain sounds, but inshallah now we'll put it into the ayah. So here we say min waliyin wala shafi'.
من ولي ولا شفيع.
Alhamdulillah. Let's try it from the beginning. So again, alhamdulillah, let's put this together. So everybody at home as well, we're going to start from ma lakum. And pay attention and think about the things that I've asked you to concentrate on. So if you have printed out the handout, draw just how I have made notes, make notes for yourself. If there's certain things you think, yes, I do that, make a note of it so that as you then recite it, you will, those things are highlighted for you so that you can try and pay more attention to them, inshallah. Okay, so Sister Shireen. ما لكم من دونه من ولي ولا شفيع.
ما لكم من دونه من ولي ولا شفيع.
Alhamdulillah, Allahumma barik. The only thing I would say, Sister Shireen, is when you say ma lakum, be careful of your dhamma on the kaf. You don't want to say ma lakukum.
Yeah.
You want to say lakum. Yes, you want to hear the u in the dhamma. Ma lakum.
ما لكم.
Barakallah fiki, alhamdulillah. And then at the end, Sister Shazia, if you could join me for the last part, we have afala. Now, for afala, everything is quite relaxed. There is no squeezing because we have a hamza. Okay. After saying shafi', we end with a ain. So now you have to be careful. You don't start with a ain, but instead you go to a relaxed state. You start, your makhraj is now different. You're starting from the bottom of the throat. It's just a relaxed afala. Sister Shazia.
أفلا
And again, the lam has an alif with it, so we do prolong it a little bit. Afala.
أفلا
Good, barakallahu fiki. And then we have the next word, tatadhakkarun.
تتذكرون تذكرون.
What I would like you to do, Sister Shazia, and this is another common mistake, and I'm sure many of us have made it in the past, or maybe you're still doing it now. So pay attention that the dal here needs to be light. In other words, we don't say the. We don't say ta ta the. We say ta ta the. The ta ta the. All of them are light. They all have the same ending in that they all have a ending at the end of them. Ta ta the. So we don't say ta ta the. The has become a the. You want to say the. Ta ta the.
تتذكرون.
Better, alhamdulillah. Also, the ra here is heavy again. We've seen a lot of ras with a fatha or with a zabar, which are heavy. We've seen some, like in the word al-arush, we've seen the ra with a sukoon preceded with a fatha, which is also heavy. I think this is the first time we're seeing in this surah a ra with a dhamma, which we also have to make heavy. So here we say tatadhakkarun, ra, ru, make it heavy. Sister Shazi, let's try it again. Tatadhakkarun.
تتذكرون.
را
را.
رو.
رو.
This one. رون.
رون.
تتذكرون.
تتذكرون.
أفلا تتذكرون.
أفلا تتذكر أفلا تتذكرون.
Yes, you have to be careful here, and this is for everybody at home, because you have two tas together. It's very easy to rush them. It's very easy to say, for example, tata, tata, just try to, you rush them or you give them less time. Sometimes it can be so rushed that the second ta can sound like it's sakina. It sounds like saying tat, for example. So you have to be careful that you keep a steady pace and keep the timing equal. Ta, 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 afala tatadhakkarun.
أفلا تتذكرون.
Barakallahu fiki, jazakallah khairan, Sister Shazia. Sister Isha, if you would like to join me, inshallah, we are going to recite this whole ayah, inshallah. So everybody just remind yourself of the things that you need to focus on, things that you've made notes of, and inshallah, pay attention to those things as you're reading. Inshallah, may Allah make it easy for everyone. Remember, those of you who find it difficult, Allah gives you double the reward. You get double the reward. Already there is so much reward for reciting Quran as it is, right? We know that there is 10 hasanat for each letter. So can you imagine if you're getting double the reward? And of course, Allah can increase that and multiply that as many times as He wishes. So Alhamdulillah, there is a lot of encouragement and Allah is showing us how much He wants us to keep reciting the Quran. So let's keep going, inshallah. Sister Isha. الله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض.
الله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض.
Good. I'm going to start from the word khalaqa. I want you to make sure the kha, la, what we mentioned about the heavy and the light. Pay attention to this, inshallah. خلق السماوات والأرض وما بينهما في 6 أيام.
خلق السماوات والأرض وما بينهما في 6 أيام.
ثم استوى على العرش.
ثم استوى على العرش.
ما لكم من دونه من ولي ولا شفيع.
ما لكم من دونه من ولي ولا شفيع.
Okay, yeah. Just the number was missing, Sister Isha. When you say wali, you want to say as you move from the lam to the ya, it's almost like it's like you're grabbing the ya and holding on to it. So you're saying wali, 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 not wali, wali. This is too gentle. There is no emphasis here. There's no number being applied. So let's try this word again. ولي. Sorry, let's start from. We'll just say من ولي. We'll stop there. من ولي.
من ولي
Yes, this is much better. ما لكم من دونه من ولي ولا شفيع.
ما لكم من دونه من ولي ولا شفيع.
Also, when you say waliyun, we need to include the ghunna, Sister Isha. So when you're joining with the waw, when you're doing the idgham, I can't hear the ghunna. So you say waliyun. So as you join, as you're doing the idgham naqis here, and you're joining the yin with the waw, you need the ghunna. Waliyun wa.
ولي و
That's much better. Barakallahu fiki. أفلا تتذكرون.
أفلا تتذكرون.
Alhamdulillah, barakallah fikum. Alhamdulillah. Well done, everybody. And those of you at home, alhamdulillah, keep going. You know, if you attend these sessions every day and you're listening, there will be so much that you'll pick up at the end, alhamdulillah, because we do touch on different things and not everything. But by the time you get to the end of the course, you will have gained, inshallah, a lot of benefit. May Allah make that so for you. And inshallah, you will notice a difference in your recitation as well, as long as you keep practicing. So well done, everybody. Keep going, alhamdulillah, inshallah. And may Allah make it easy for you. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil-ayati wal-dhikri al-Hakim. Allahumma taqabbal minna innaka anta as-sami'u al-alim wa tub alayna innaka anta at-tawwabur rahim. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu